How does that go in Hungarian? He asked. He smiled. I love the music of your language. He laid the printed page on the table. Let's discuss the upgrades. Section 12, he read. Vaki reserves the right to propose changes to products for specific regional needs and implement them independently, subject to Apollo's approval. Vaki commits that any modifications will meet Apollo's standards and will always be submitted for approval. Water resistance? Why not send us the changes and let us implement them? It would cost more. Where do you make these changes? At our factory in Bulgaria. Do you know how long it took me to understand what happens when a button moves 3 millimeters to the left? I can imagine. That's how we survive. We're a small company, ma'am. He stretched the last word, glancing briefly at the computer screen. Bayarsoni. Christina is fine. Christina, we don't like surprises. He studied her carefully, his tone softened. You even pronounce my name perfectly. Most Europeans can't. I don't like things I don't understand, and there are 3 things here. 3? The money, Section 12, and you. Let's start with the 3rd. Who are you, Christina? He glanced again at the screen. Archidiakono Bayarsoni. The company stayed. Within 6 months, it became a leader in the field. Have you checked our website? Of course. You saw who our clients are. I did. It's definitely impressive. He nodded slowly and repeated the phrase. Definitely impressive. Why don't you mention your background in physics? Are you ashamed of it? For full disclosure, there are a few other things I didn't include. Such as, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. And I'm not interested in that. You seem like a nice man. They all laughed freely, a release of tension. May I also hear a little about my future husband? Christina asked. He barely had time to recover before another joke came. He smiled broadly. We're still just dating, not married yet, he said, and the laughter. Then he grew a bit more serious and began to share his story. I studied engineering at Taipei Tech and returned to Tainan to be near my parents. I started alone, with a few business failures essential for taking off. This company wasn't born from brilliance. It grew slowly, like a tree, year by year, a little more, always trying to understand what really matters, who our partners are. That's why it's so important for me to get to know you. He turned toward Xu Jingye. My beloved and only daughter joined the company when she was 22. I didn't ask her. She chose to. She changed this place, brought structure, not just technology, but understanding. In that, she surpasses me. Is your wife also involved? A shadow passed through the room. My wife was killed in an accident 3 years ago. Yes, she was my driving force. I might accept your offer to reduce the advance to 1/3. Jingi spoke for the first time since the meeting began. Dad, if I may suggest something. He raised a small, gentle hand. Not yet, Jingi. Right now. I want to hear only your heart. Xu Jingyi lowered her eyes. I believe I know what you want to say, my dear daughter. Without approval, there's no marketing anyway. So, why remove the clause? And another $100,000 would make Mr. Quito at the bank smile. That's right, Dad. Christina looked at them. Mr. Xu Qingguang. Please call me Qingguang. She smiled. Thank you. Qingguang, I'm not here just to sell. I'm willing to remove some clauses, add others, but there's one thing I cannot change. What is that? Who I am. He looked at her for a long moment. I'm beginning to like you. She smiled politely. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you're free tonight, I'd love it if you showed me around the city. I'm flying out tomorrow. She added almost in a whisper, oh, maybe 1 glass of Khao Liang or 2 will help me convince you to take another 100,000 from me. After all, you did say we're still just dating, she added, on one condition. You tell me about the hidden parts of your resume without killing me.